We're going to be talking about what consumers are looking for, what business models you should be paying attention to, and everything in between. 10 trends. We got 5 right now, and we're going to cover another 5 in another video. So make sure to check that one out. Let's get into it. Just imagine a world post-COVID. Crisis is over, but consumers, business models, they're never going to be the same. Once people got used to digital and remote, the expectations change forever. And the main tags of 2022 will be digital nomads, charity and sustainable development. Human experience during the pandemic will ultimately lead to rapid changes that we've all probably wanted, but at the rate things are going, businesses were not going to do it. People were not going to change because businesses weren't going to change, and it was just a fantasy. But now, because of everything that's transpired over the last 2 to 3 years, we need to talk about things you need to pay attention to. Trend number 1, the Pharmaceutical Revolution. Advanced COVID tests, vaccines. We gotta talk about it because COVID has shaken up the pharmaceutical industry by storm. We've learned to test drugs faster, test easier. Traditional clinical trials are a thing of the past because the reality was pre-COVID, I think it was like a several year process to get like testing and enough testing done before you roll it out. And then because the way the pandemic was evolving, we were like, we need stuff now. We need it ASAP. Consulting and data collection, they've also moved online. Remember, a lot of that was pen and paper. So such transformations like this, they can take root and change pharmaceuticals forever. And we saw how quickly tests for COVID-19 appeared around the world, then vaccines like Pfizer, Moderna, I don't even want to say Johnson. Don't get me started. But just want to talk about the speed at which we did these things. Some of it was because of the urgency, but some of it was, hey, the way we're doing it, we can do it so much better. So the pharmaceutical revolution will continue in 2022. Trend number 2, remote and video conferencing is here to stay. And if it isn't, you should go somewhere where it is here to stay because the pandemic has led to a skyrocketing rise in the popularity of telecommuting and video conferencing. I'm a dumbass because I bought Zoom when it IPO'd. That was probably back in 2019. I was using Zoom for the podcast, so that's why I invested in it. And my dumbass was convinced by who I'm not going to name who, was like, you're doing pretty good on Zoom, maybe you should get out. And then boom, the pandemic hit. Zoom was founded in 2011. It's become a symbol of the pandemic. Skype has to take the biggest L in the world because I have a 10-year start on Zoom and still come in last place. But look, in my personal opinion, the way things are going, we're going to have a virtual office that imitates the one we were used to going to. And these things are just here to stay. Remote and video conferencing is not going anywhere anytime soon. Trend number 3, contactless delivery is now the new norm. In the US, the popularity of contactless delivery, I think it's grown up 20-30% because people want to minimize physical contact. It's just how it is now. So the service providers like DoorDash, Postmates, Instacart, Grubhub, Uber Eats, they've expanded their reach. And let's be real, there's no plans to ditch that in 2022. And China is not the only country that is looking at using drones to help with deliveries. American startups like Mana, Starship Technologies, they're all trying to tackle the same problem with robotics and AI-powered applications. So you can make sure you get that McDonald's to your front door, not only at a fair price, but make sure no one's touched it or messed with your food. Coming in at number 4, the prosperity of telemedicine. In the healthcare sector, everyone is trying to reduce the risk of contracting the coronavirus to their workers, their patients, etc. Many private and public clinics have started offering telemedicine services. Even for my mom, who it went from taking her to the doctor to, hey, we're going to set up a telemedicine appointment. We're going to have video chat. We're going to use artificial intelligence to conduct diagnostics and use photographs, and medicines are going to be delivered to your front door. But in addition to telemedicine, guys, in 2022, we're expecting news from the field of biotechnology and artificial intelligence.
You can see the robot sort of locks on, and you can also kind of push your hand and the robot, not that I would do this in real life, but the robot will respond to that, and you can ask it questions.
Machine learning. These are going to be technologies that are going to be used to improve diagnostics, administration work, and hopefully just improve overall healthcare, because if you live in America, healthcare sucks. With the rise of telemedicine, we're going to be seeing less, let's call them discrepancies, and hopefully overall improvement in the system. Trend number 5, which is all my parents listening out there. Distant learning is part of the education system. COVID has spurred the development of online education. During the pandemic, 190 countries closed schools and universities, so about 1.6 billion people have to be faced with this new reality. School, colleges, sports centers. Look, I had tickets to go see Kyrie Irving play Kawhi Leonard in LA with my man Ricky, and I legit remember having a nightmare about Southwest canceling my flight or me just not going. That was when the pandemic hit, and the game was on a Thursday. The NBA shut down on a Wednesday, and I did not get my money back.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
Moment of silence for me. Thank you. Anyways, distance learning, this is part of the education system. And, you got iTutor Group, you got Udacity, Coursera. I'm sure Udemy is just killing it right now. Even my video editor, shout out to my boy Kamal. He said some of the coolest shit to me, guys. I'm sitting down, we're having our bi-weekly things, and I was like, hey man, you studying computer science like your dad? And he was like, no, because once the pandemic hit and I was just taking online classes to learn how to code, I really was like, why am I paying all this money for this education when I can just learn to code for free through YouTube and other resources, or just actually do something I really want to do, which would not be a coder, but to be this amazing video producer. And I just thought to myself, see, you got a whole generation who thinks like that. Because if you were to tell me, hey, you get to go to ASU, the Harvard of Arizona, that's a joke if you guys couldn't tell. And you were to tell me, hey, Caleb, check it out. You're going to go to one of the top universities within Arizona and you get to do it remote. I would be like, then no. The whole point of going to ASU is to experience the parties, the mistakes, the personal life choices that you regret 5-10 years later. Then you're proud to say you went to ASU. But if you were to tell me I just went to ASU on a computer, I would be like, I'd rather check out somewhere cheaper or do something completely different. All I'm trying to say is distance learning is not going away in 2022.